Hello, welcome to Magical Monday. Today I am going to be working on the Phoebe pattern from Tina Gibbons. I've wanted to make this top forever. So forever. And I mean, I've made it before a long time ago. I even have the pattern cut out somewhere, but I can't find it after moving. So I'm recutting it out here with you, and we'll see if I finish it or maybe I continue and do part 2 next week. We'll see. So this is Phoebe shirt and pants pattern. Let me show you. I've already taken it out, but it comes in this nice large print quality paper that I'll be cutting out the pattern pieces for the shirt. Here's this. Hello. Hi, Arnetta. And I'm going to be using this brand new crinkle linen in from Robert Kaufman. We are listing this today. I have coral, which is the color I'm using. It's more pink to me. We have OD green, I think, and maybe navy. We have 3 colorways. But any of the linen, the Brussels, that will work. Any of the Neppy, that will work. Rayon will work for this if you're comfortable using rayon. And it's just kind of this artsy outfit. I love it. I love her patterns. We have Phoebe, we have Jackie, we have a few copies left of the Sam shirt dress that I've made in the past and shown you. I made it with rayon. Annabelle's slip, that's a fun one. Yeah, okay. So let's just get into this. You can always ask questions. I'll answer if I can. I've never done this pattern on camera before or anything, so we'll just go with it, right?
That's the fun part.
That's the fun part. So here I am. Her patterns are generally easy fitting, meaning they're not super tight fitting or anything like that. Ew. So as far as size, I'm doing a small here, but you make whatever you want. Just know there is going to be room, most likely. Here's the back part of the shirt. So I'm just going to cut exterior length. Oops. A lot of times with patterns, I cut them, like this at first, and then I'll cut it down. So if your lines are going together and confusing you, just take a highlighter and come in and highlight the lines that you're cutting. The only place it gets kind of hairy is here for me. Okay, let me know if I need to take my necklaces off. I can't tell if they're being a nuisance. Okay, Ramel's here. What have you got for the people today, Ramel? Are you in the corner?
No, because this is all about you and that project right there.
Ramel. Excuse me.
That came out of nowhere.
Out of nowhere. Okay, here's some pattern trash. Now I'm going to cut down the fold. I like these big pieces because we're cutting them on the fold. Makes it very easy. Now I just need to cut out my sleeves, which is this last piece here. And then just so you know, the instructions on the pattern are here. So you want to cut those out and keep them. I taped mine to the inside of a manila folder, usually, and then all the pattern pieces can be kept together. Okay, so here's my...
It's starting to sound like cowbell now.
Like a cowbell?
Yeah, it's starting to sound like cowbell, the little necklaces.
Oh, okay, I can take them off then.
They look nice, though.
It's probably a lot. I mean, it's 3 necklaces. Okay. Ah! There. We'll put that over there. Okay, so now everything's out of the way. Let me see. This is on the fold too. So now I'm gonna, usually with garments, you want to wash and dry your fabric first. But I didn't prepare. So because I know that these patterns are very loose fitting, I'm not worried about shrinkage. They're not tailored. So I'll be okay. But for you, do what I say, not what I do. Oh well. It is what it is, right? Or you can live on the edge and not wash it like me. Okay, let's go to the overhead camera, Ramel. Where did all my Zen blocks go? I see this one that's so pretty. I don't know where I put the rest of mine. Must be at home or something. Hi, Jenny. Okay, now we'll go here. There we are. And let's cut this way. What am I doing? I'll let you know how much yardage I used because I'm not using 56-inch like the pattern calls for. I'm using just a 44-inch bolt. I do this all the time. All right.
When you cut, they're double folded, right?
Yes, yes, I cut it on the fold. And then what I like to do while I cut the rest of the pieces is I pin this in place. Now, I love this because there are really no markings that we need to mark. This is how freeform this pattern is, which is why I love it. Not tons of rules to mess about with. Now for this one, this Robert Kaufman, it's new. It's called Crush, and it has this permanent little sort of a wrinkle look to it. I love it. Very hobo, very, is that the word? Bohemian. Bohemian is what I'm looking for. Casual, very casual. I love it. And Vicki is working on getting those in the system as we speak. If you want some other colors. Huh? Of the fabric. Oh, hi. If you're just joining us, I'm making the Phoebe shirt. Let me take it out. I'm not making the pant today. I'm making this loosey-goosey, artsy shirt because I love Tina Gibbons patterns. Well, I don't think that needs a zoom. I think you can see it. Okay. Yeah, it's good. Here we go. I'm going to go off the edge there a bit, so where are my scissors?
You need some more weights?
Well, yes, I think I've put them in a different room right now, Ramel, because I was sewing the bag. So don't worry about getting them. I'm almost done. I make it work, don't I? That's my middle name.
Natalie, make it work, CNT.
Yeah, just like Tim Gunn. I'm borrowing it from him. So you can use scissors or rotary. As you can see, it doesn't matter. It's whatever is easiest for you, whatever you can control the best. This one you saw me cutting paper, so my blade is pretty much shot. That wasn't too smart of me, but oh well. It's fine. Not a big deal. Okay, here we are. Let's do this one. Do. And now just the sleeves. Dun, dun. So for the sleeves, I think I can get away with cutting the fabric and then folding smaller pieces across. So let me straighten this fabric out. I've got my iron ready. It's on high heat. So this is what I mean. I'm going to fold it. See that big chunk? So I just take it and place it on the work surface and fold it like this. Yeah, that's plenty of room. So I can actually do a little less. I might have enough for a bag or something. There's one. Now I can go turn this around. Remember to make these mirrored. If your fabric does not look the same from both sides, see how, do you know what I'm saying? So if we cut it like this before, we need to cut it like this time. If you're using a print that is not the same on both sides, make sure to mirror that. Okay, there's that. And then these have pleats. So I'm just going to make the marking with, I think my white pencil, chalk pencil will show up. Yep. There's that one. Sure. Okay. There we are. This is just so I don't lose it. Put it up there. Okay, let's get into it. Is everyone doing okay? I don't see anything on my screen for this, so Ramel, you can just interrupt me and ask me anything if there's questions. So I'm on step 1. Place the exterior shirt panels. Stitch shoulder seams. Yeah, that's usually where we do start. This is scrap, but I'm going to keep it close. So this is the front. You will see me often do this. I will mark when the front and back are very similar. I'll do this. This is the front, because then I know the other is the back. I just made a little F, that's all, in case you can't see that. So I'll lay this out like this. And then I'll take the back. This looks more like the stronger crush side, so I'm going to treat this as my right side, and I'm going to treat this as my right side.
You had a question about what kind of fabric is this?
I'm using the Kona, or I'm sorry, I'm using Crush from Robert Kaufman, and Vicki is listing 3 color options today. She might have it up, Ramel. Can you check with her? We have this corally pink. We have green, I believe, and it's either gray or navy, some of those. Now, I will let you know, usually I would sew this on my serger, and 1 strip and we're done. But I'm using my machine today. It only has a straight stitch, so I'm probably going to come in later and serge these seams, because I know it's easy to take care of them. I could also use my pinking shears, wherever those went. It's really raining out there.
Just listing it at 7 minutes.
Okay, it'll be listed around 7 minutes from now. Yeah, it's called Crush, and it has linen and cotton. So here are these. You know what, Ramel, for clarity's sake, because some people might be sewing it the same way as me, will you grab me some pinking shears?
Okay.
Up at the front counter, the retail desk?
Okay.
They're the jaggedy edge tooth ones, and they're hanging up on the slat wall. Thanks, Honey Bunny. Because I'm not seeing them here. I also heard from Rhonda at Schmetz that we should be changing our needle every 5 hours of use. So I should probably change that now too. I think mine has had 50 hours of use. That is not good. Should have changed it a long time ago. Does anyone else do that? Like just procrastinate the things that kind of matter. Thanks, hon.
I'm a procrastinator too.
I am about some things and not others. It's so strange.
I only procrastinate on certain things. Once I get going, like, I'm going. Can't stop me.
These are now my new pinking shears. We have the Kai brand here because other brands that I've tried just didn't stay sharp for long. And I did a boo-boo already. I sewed down this. I'll take you overhead in a second. Where my scalpel? Here it is. See, you always need the scalpel nearby. Look what I did. Such an amateur. It's okay, though. I'm not going to talk mean to myself. This happens. Especially when you have a handsome husband in the room.
Oh, come on.
You distract me. You like that? Do I get ice cream tonight?
Sure.
Are you going to make dinner tonight?
I might.
Okay, there we are. Now it's fixed. I'll move my scalpel out of the way.
Michelle is asking if you added highlights to your hair.
Oh. So, yes, and I haven't toned them yet. They need a tone. But that was, I was doing Ruby's highlights because I cut my kids' hair and I highlight it for them. And I went, oh, let me just do some right here. And it's, what was I thinking? What was I honestly thinking? So I have to tone it. But that's okay. This is what we do when we're creative. We just take risks. Here. I'm going to do this. This is considered a treated seam now. As long as you backstitched, you're fine. Now, at the shoulders, because they get a lot of stress, I'm going to do another row of stitching here. Just right here, right alongside it, because that really is the part of the garment that gets the most stress. That and often sleeves. So I'm just going to do this again. Do you want to take the camera overhead, Ramel? You're going to have to help me with camera work today. Capiche? You could also do a zigzag stitch inside there if your machine does the zigzag stitch. Okay, cool. Now I'm sure we're gonna press, huh? Yeah, we need to press, huh? I think I have some linen fibers in my nose or something. They're tickling me. Figure 2, note the pleat lines. Okay, so we'll do that next. I'm going to bring my Aliso iron over and my Ironmatic mat. I think we have 2 left of these in sage. If you want me to get more in, let me know. Take it overhead, Rom. Thanks. So what I like to do for garments is first I press to set the stitches. And then I will open it up. Now, I don't press my seams open on garments ever. I always press to the back. That's usually what patterns will tell you to do, is press it to the back of the garment. Sometimes I'll even stitch that seam allowance down, but this isn't calling for it, so I'll leave it alone at the moment. Okay, let's see where we are next. And I'm gonna cross off step 1 because I did that and I don't want to backtrack. Figure 2, note the pleat lines marked on the sleeve, make 3 small pleats based in place. Okay, so I'm going to put this away for the moment and we're going to get out the sleeves. Okay, do you want to go overhead, Rom? And on this one, we probably will need to zoom. So on these pleats, you want to bring it over one line to the other line. 1, and I use tiny pins for this. You can come. It is, where's my bolt of crush? Here it is. Kona Natural Crush Coral.
Coral? Okay.
Here.
I need it. I got it.
You'll need the UPC.
Okay.
Thanks. And then, so there's one pleat. Now, since this is a sleeve, I'm going to bring this line over to this way. See how that makes a pretty pleat here? I don't see, make 3 small pleats as shown. Well, I don't see a picture for 3. 1. I'm going to do it my way because I don't see how we get 3 out of that. I'm just going to do it my way. I hope this works. So it's like a box pleat on the sleeve. I think that'll be pretty. As long as I do them both the same, who cares? 1, see, that would just be 1, 2. Oh, maybe that's what she means. 1, 2, 3. I don't think I like that. I think this one looks cleaner to me. So I do this all the time, where I take a pattern and I change it a little bit. And I know that this will not be a fit issue because it's just the top of the sleeve, the shoulder joint. So I'm going to go with my way on this. And then I'll just make sure they're the same. I think last time I did a ruffle instead, but we'll just carry on. See how when I iron it, the crush, it keeps some of that organic wrinkle in it. It doesn't come out. So it's meant to be that way, just so you know. Okay, let's baste these in place, although probably just going to sew. Do you have, Ramel, can you go to the sewing machine? Is this too bright, this light? Yeah.
Ooh, it's right.
Yeah, that's too bright. I'm pulling my pins back so that I don't sew over them. There's that one. And, oops, sorry, I keep hitting it. Now they say baste because this does get sewn again, but I've had basting stitches come out easily, so.
I do have a question.
Yeah. Yes, that should be here by now, but they sent it to the wrong address, so we're trying to locate it. But yeah, the Norman is being restocked any day as soon as we find where they took it. A lot of the style arcs are being restocked, and I have a couple new patterns coming in. And one pattern I'm going to do on a Magical Monday because it's meant for the Shannon Cuddle that we have in stock. I think you'll want to make it with me. It's a fast make. Okay, so there we've got step 2 done. Let's cross that off. Place the center shoulder mark of the sleeve onto the shoulder seam, right sides together. Yep. So that's when you take the garment and lay it flat on the table like this. And if you already know this, you can just ignore me or mute. So here we go. What's nice about this sleeve is it is symmetrical. A lot of times the front cap, the front and the back are not symmetrical, and so it really matters how you attach the sleeve. This one, because it's symmetrical like this, all we have to do is find that centering crease and line it up with the shoulder seam. And again, I'm pushing my shoulder seam towards the back of the garment. And I put a pin through the shoulder seam and the sleeve to hold it in place. Can you zoom in? So here's the centering crease. And I'm lining that up with the shoulder seam. And I grab it, and that shoulder seam underneath is going towards the back of the garment, and I just make sure it's all in place. And then this, I usually match this up first, like one side. Put a pin. And then the other side. That gives me a general guide on how this is going to go fit in here. And sometimes you have to really, really do a lot of easing with certain patterns, and others not so much easing. So let's see how this one goes. Oh, this is going to be good. So I just flatten it. I'm pushing the pins so the sharp pointy end is facing outwards. That allows me to grab the pin more easily and pull it back when I'm sewing. Because these are curves, I leave my pins in and just make sure that they're not in my seam allowance when I'm sewing, so my needle won't hit it, in other words. But I do leave them in. You don't want to stretch. This can easily stretch, so that's why, to me, pinning it is smart, because then you're not stretching and pulling and then not having a sleeve cap that fits correctly. I'm sure there's really professional ways to do all this. I never went to professional sewing school, but this seems to work for me. Okay, here we go. Let's sew this. Might need to take a breath. Have a swig of water. Did you bring me any snacky treats? Chocolate?
I can get you some chocolate.
Okay. I'm just making sure with my fingers that everything is flat underneath. I don't want to sew in any wrinkles, and I've done it enough to know I have to go slow on this part. If you're brand new to this, you might want to base stitch this portion first. And then if you sewed it on correctly, then go back and stitch it with your 2.5 millimeter stitch. That would have been really smart. But I didn't think of it till I was halfway through. Okay, let's take it back overhead. I think I sewed one little wrinkle in here that I'm going to have to fix. I'm making a size small. These patterns are very forgiving and roomy, so I had two little wrinkles. Now I'm just going to stitch those two areas where I made a little boo-boo. I'm going to flip it so I can look at that. Can you take it to the machine, Ramel? Thanks. And it's absolutely fine. You see, I just needed to be focused there. And here's the other one. I'm going to get that flat underneath. Stitch. And we're good. And there we are, good. I always do this, and I just caught myself. You know, a lot of times with clothing, you're supposed to take a 5/8 inch seam allowance, and I don't always do that the first time through because I'm so paranoid of making something too small. So a lot of times my first time through is with a 1/2 inch or smaller seam allowance, and I've just realized I'm doing that again. So now I've got to carry on the same throughout. I'm taking a 1/2 inch seam allowance here. Not much smaller than 5/8, you know, it's almost the same. But in case you were wondering, yep. Okay, you're stepping out? Okay, so now I'm going to flip to overhead and show you how I check this immediately after sewing it. I look from the front. Everything looks good. No puckers and wrinkles that I can see. Now, I do want to find my ham. I think it's right over here. Yep. Here's my sewing ham. So I'm gonna make this so the seams are going down towards the end of the sleeve. And because it's a curve, I'm gonna press it on this ham. The ham is curved. And I can see my seam allowance under here. It's going that way. Oh, I'm so excited to be sewing with you all. What are you making? All right, there we are. One side done. Now we'll fit the other sleeve to this side. Okay, so same thing. I'm going to fold it in half, find that centering crease. With the wrinkles in this fabric, it can be hard to see. So there's my centering crease. I need to work with it like this. Centering crease to shoulder crease, pin in place. Top down here. This side over here. And then we'll ease it in. And you can check from the other side before you start sewing. Make sure you didn't pin any folds or creases into this. Because I've done that before too. That pin feels like a dud. How long do you all keep sewing patterns? I need to go through my collection and cull it. And I'm finding patterns from, I don't know, 15 years ago. And I'm thinking, well, if I'm not going to sew it again, maybe I should just throw it away.
Well, here, look at this comment.
Okay. You haven't, Elizabeth? Oh, I just love clothes sewing. Because, well, nowadays, things are much looser fitting on a lot of patterns. Probably when you were sewing, it was very fitted, high stress. I don't know. But I like all these loose patterns. Yeah, can you switch? I've got too much going on, Rom. Thanks. See this pin? I didn't check it from the back. I had pinned a wrinkle in.
Good thing you caught it.
Yeah, you can feel it a lot of times if you're paying attention. I mean, but sometimes it just sneaks up on you.
Do you always have to do that?
What, back and forth?
Yeah.
Yeah, you want to do that, otherwise the seam can pull apart. I call it back stitch or lock stitch. What are some other terms that you have seen so nobody's lost? I always start my seam by going forward, backwards, forward, and then end it the same way. Now let me check this seam, see what boo-boos I might have sewn in. Almost perfect. Let's go overhead. So I can see right here a tiny wrinkle, and that'll bug me. So I'm just going to fix it. It's easy to fix right now. Come over from this side. I just released about 3 or 4 stitches, and now I'm going to fix it on the machine. So I definitely have to go, again, back, forward. And now it's fixed. Let's go back overhead. Let's see if I can press this one out. Yeah, that one I'm going to be able to press out. Okay, let's take the ham. Again, we're just kind of shaping this rounded seam, so pressing that seam allowance down towards the sleeve.
What a ham. Where's the term come from when somebody says, what a ham?
I don't know. I mean, I don't know why they said ham.
Could say bacon. I love bacon.
Bacon? What a bacon?
Yeah, what a bacon. It's like, oh, thank you.
Yeah, it just doesn't ring the same, does it? All right. Okay, the sleeves are attached. Now, I'm going to go back in there since I didn't use my serger, and I'm going to pink these seams. Do you want to go back overhead, Ramel? And that's what I'm going to do for now. Good enough for me. I have lots of clothing, especially from the beginning years, where this is how I treated the seams, and it's still going strong. Just make sure you're not cutting into the other side. Okay. I think the biggest thing with making clothing is just lightening up and being easy on yourself. Because if you give yourself permission to play around and have fun, it's a lot more enjoyable than expecting perfection. I can't say how many garments I've made and then didn't wear them for months. Came back 6 months, 8 months later and loved them and then wore them. I don't know what that is, but it's real. Okay, so that one is treated. Now we're going to treat this side. I mean, this is really close to being done. Yeah, I'm taking my time here because I think people will just pop in and out as they want, and if they're watching a replay, they can fast forward. I just don't want to feel stressed and hurried, and usually I do when I'm on camera. So these Magical Mondays, I'm kind of treating it as if you and I are just hanging out.
We are hanging
You and
out.
I. Okay, step 3 is done. Place. So we're on to figure 4. Place shirt inside out and pin under sleeves and side seams of the front and back and stitch. I love this part because it makes the garment come together. So it's inside out right now. I'm going to put it on the table. Let's go overhead. And we're pinning. What I always pin first is this underarm seam with this underarm seam, and I nest those seams so nothing is super bulky there. And then I know that this and this will match more or less. And then all the way down the shirt. This would be really fast with a serger because it would just go zip.
How does it go again?
Zip. You're making fun of me.
No, I just think it's cute.
There's that underarm seam. You can definitely do this pattern even if you're a beginner. Just turn on this video and go through it with me. And you're going to be fine. The pattern is for sale in my shop. It's called the Phoebe shirt and pant. Maybe we do the pant next week.
Ooh, that sounds like a good idea.
It's a very voluminous pant. I like it a lot.
Whoa, voluminous.
Voluminous.
Like that word.
Okay, so now we're going to go from the sleeve all the way down. I can tell this is going to be a nice to wear. Let me just make sure. Yes. You can choose to leave the hem raw. No, we're not going to do that. Here, I'm going to go back and forth here. That's the armpit side. See how this is not perfect here? Doesn't matter. Look, it really doesn't. We're going to be fine. We're just going to even that up. Oh, I mean, it works. It's fine. Don't stress. I'm going to take all these pins out, and then we'll sew the other side. Okay, so I pinned that on the wrong side because I want it to go through the machine like this. I do that every time. It's okay. One day it'll sink in. I reached under there and pulled my pin out. Here's that armpit area. I'm going to hit it a few times there. here. I'm just going to clean this edge up. Boom, done. Okay, let's take the pins out. It looks really big right now. I find that handmade garments often look really big, but then once you get it on, it's no longer looking so giant. So don't be alarmed. Plus, these side seams are really easy to take in. If you need to take it in further, you would just come in further and cut away the excess. So let's go overhead. I'm just going to treat this seam now. And I'll try to keep it as flat as possible here. You could do French seams if you wanted. We did that the other week on the pillowcase Magical Monday. That's another option if you don't have a serger. Just make sure to cut it out and allow for that extra seam allowance. All right, there's that side. Hear that rain, Ramel? It's nice. It's soothing.
Shouldn't it be snowing?
Yeah, it should be, but here we are. Record hot year. Okay. What? Oh, I know a lot of people don't like snow, but I kind of like how clean everything looks with snow. Okay, so that is step 4 complete. So the next step within step 4 is what you want to do for the hemline. I think I'm going to leave mine raw right now, and I'm going to see how it looks after wash and dry. I'm hoping it'll fray up, and I can just like sew so it doesn't keep fraying, you know, sew a stitch line and keep that frayed edge. That's kind of, I like that. So I'm just going to put a circle to come back.
It's a little hip.
Little hip, yeah. So figure 5 place. I didn't do the longer panels, so I can skip 5. I didn't do interior longer panels. I'm doing 1 layer. Dun, da, da, da. Hold on, am I supposed to do the inner layer because of the collar? Oh, we're supposed to do longer panels.
Did you miss something?
No, I mean, the shirt technically has 2 layers, a longer panel and this shorter panel, which is what I made. And because I wear things over a tank top most of the time, I didn't cut out the interior longer panels, you see? So maybe I need to do that.
Or you can just keep it 1 panel because that's what you usually do.
Let me look at the picture. I really want to do this so that I see now what she's talking about. Gosh, that might be overkill. But if it fixes our raw edge to the collar, then it's good to do. So there's a number of ways we can do this. We can bind the collar and turn it under so you can't see it. The neckline is what I'm talking about. Sorry, I keep saying collar. This neckline, we could bind it and turn it under so the binding is not visible. We could do a narrow edge hem. We could pink it first and then turn it under 1/4 of an inch, sew it down, call it a day. Or let me see if I can figure out. Place the interior panels. Turn the interior right side out and pin side seams together. So figure 7, place the interior with right side of the fabric facing outward inside the exterior shirt, wrong side facing out. Yeah, match the necklines, and that's what we do to stitch the neckline. Okay, well, you know what? I'm going to have to do it. I'm going to do the interior layer. Should I do the same color or should I do a different color? What's your vote? So this is the short shirt. And if you look at this cover, here's the short shirt and here's her undershirt.
Which looks pretty.
Maybe I need some batiste. I think I have that out there.
What is it called?
Batiste fabric. What's your vote? Should I finish this tomorrow? We've been going an hour. Or I mean, gosh, I really want to finish it.
Question.
Okay. The watch was answering me. Okay, you know what I'll do? I'm going to cut out my underlayer shirt. We sew it up exactly the same. And then I'll resume tomorrow showing you how to put these together so the neckline is finished and we have all the layers. Let's do that, because I still have to have Ramel film me on another tutorial today. So we're running out of time. So can we do that? Is that okay? We'll meet again tomorrow, and then these two parts, I'll fuse them together so that when you go on YouTube, they're there. And you
Yeah.
can do the whole shirt with me. Let's do it right.
This is gonna be on YouTube anyways.
Yeah.
So you
Yeah,
can
and
replay
it will always be there and we'll link to it. But let's do that so that tomorrow I can finish very quickly with you all.
Tomorrow.
Yeah, so just cut out another layer. It's the longer layer I can see on the floor in my pattern pieces that I need to tape. It's a bit longer, and you're going to do all the same steps that we did here. All the same steps. And
Can you try it on real quick?
oh no, I've got too much going on today. No, we're not doing that. I'll show it on tomorrow. And I keep pausing to think, and I'm linen or jersey for the shirt, linen, cotton, or jersey. Yeah, you can make this out of knit too. Interesting. Yeah, 2.5 yards of fabric is what you want, so I would just get 3 so that you have extra. And yeah, we'll finish this tomorrow. Again, this is the Phoebe shirt.
Okay, we're gonna call this part 1.
This is part 1. Yeah, that's what we'll do. Thanks for being here. I really appreciate you. We'll finish this up tomorrow. Peace, love, sewing.